I'm pretty happy. Today we are going to have a read of a book that is Habits for a Better You and discuss about starting or making the first step in life. I'll start with a question. How many of us have heard of people when you ask them what is happening to your dream? They'll tell you that it's still in ideation form. We have met very many people. Others are still thinking of what they want to do. Others have ideas on savings. Others have ideas on investing. Others have ideas on starting a poultry project, for example. Others have ideas about building their own house and all that. But the question is, what is happening to all these ideas? Most of us have packaged them just somewhere because we don't want to start. So today we are going to read this book, Habits for a Better You, and analyze why we need to start. So the first question I will ask you today, tell me where success comes before work. I'll ask you a question today. Tell me where success starts. Tell me where success comes before work. I'm waiting for your answer. But if you read in Vince Lombardi, he says that the dictionary is the only place that success comes before work. But in real life, it means you must work before success comes up. The second question, how much of your time is spent consuming what other people made? How much do you use to produce something for the world? How far have you gone with your idea? How far do you want us to wait for you to start so that we can see whatever you have been doing? How far do you want us to wait so that we can see that poultry project from your home, that book, that song, that whatever you have? How far have you been holding this idea? You need to come out. So the second question I'll ask is, why do you think we don't start? And there are some factors I want us to look. Number one, we don't start because we fear the unknown. We are captives of fear as human beings. So we tend to fear what will happen when I start. What will people say? Will I really even make it? I know this can be failure. And before you start, before action happens in life, there are a lot of voices in your mind which tells you that it will never be possible. Oh, writing a book? No, you can't make it. So that is the first problem we have as human beings. Number one, the fear of the unknown. We feel that we may fail. We don't know what the future holds. The second thing is we feel we have not trained enough. We feel we need a little more time to have the skills. We feel we need a little time to have on the finances. We feel we need a little time to have on networks and get more people. So that's the second major reason why people don't start. The feeling that we need more training, the feeling that we have a sufficiency, we lack something, we lack a skill, we need to harden up. The third reason is perfectionism. Most of us, we want to be perfect before we start. We want to make everything flow. We want to make all the system work. We want to have everything in plan. But it never happens. The fourth thing is when we are not sure of what we really want. So I want us to solve this. Let's start from the fourth. If you want to do something, the best thing to do is have what is called the clarity of mind. Be sure of what you want. Classify. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seek, do research, and make the best thing what is called starting with the end in mind. Don't worry about the nitty-gritties. Don't worry about the fine details. Just have the big picture that this is what I want. When you have clarity of mind, you are good to go. The second thing about the need for the skills. Do not wait to have all the skills. It will never happen in real life. In fact, When you start, that is when you now develop the skills. For example, I get very many people asking me, how did you write a book? And the answer has been a very simple one. I started the first sentence, which is, it might look like it's obnoxious, but that is the reality. In writing, when you do the first sentence, the second sentence will follow, and it will develop a paragraph. And that is how life will flow. Touching on the fear of the unknown, life is unpredictable. Life is a risk. If you go out, you may die. If you sleep, you may die. So I want you to stop thinking about fear. I want you to inculcate fear and failure in your system, so that you should know this is part and parcel of the game. This is part and parcel of the success journey. If you do that, it means your mental aptitude, your mental programming will not be bad by fear. Otherwise, it will be part of the journey, and thus it is easy for you to factor it that there is a fear problem, there is a fear object along the way. So what you have to do is just to mitigate against the consequences of such a failure. Do not wait for approval by all human beings. Don't go speaking to everyone that, oh, I have this project, oh, I have this, and you want to wait for their personal approvals. This is what you'll get instead. 1,001 reasons why you should not start this project because it will fail. Some will even go back to the histories telling you how their friends, how their grandfathers, how this and this happened, and they failed. So my guy, in your circle, get people who can support you. Get constructive criticism, but focus and start. So I want us to discuss also on the ideation process, because it is part of the starting. Why do you need an idea? And what makes an idea? An idea is basically the big picture of what you want. Focus on what will I need to achieve, write it down. What kind of a plan will I need to execute, write it down. What kind of the people do I need for this idea to work, write them down. See on the financial aspect and everything else you may need along the process. This should form part of your idea. Then present it to some few, the inner circles I was sharing with you. These people will now impact on the idea. Never expect your idea to be complete. You will never see the whole picture at once. But what happens in life, if you are a reader of alchemist, when you really need something, that is when nature conspires to give it to you. So when you have this idea which is burning in you, you have the rough idea, the rough project. Focus on starting. From there is a way nature will bring you resources into fine-tuning whatever you are doing. That is when you'll get the new connections. That is when you'll get people telling you to do exhibitions. That is when you get somebody to give you funds. And funny enough in life, when you share the idea, people will tell you to not work. When you start, they start looking at whatever you are doing. And when they see that you are making success, you are making progress, that is when they come back and tell you, we knew it will work. So before these guys come, they need to have seen something that you have already started. So that is the important aspect of ideation. I want us to read two quotes which help us to develop on this. It is not what you have got, it is what you use to make that makes a difference. This is by Zig Ziglar. Many of us want to get a lot of things, but this doesn't matter in real life. What matters is whatever the things you have, how many of them have you really put into use? Then Pablo Picasso tells us that action is the foundational key to all success. Success follows action. Success follows work. Even if it is small, what you have declared is that this is what I really want. So I want us to come back to you. List down in a very short version the ideas you had when you were starting 2022. What were your resolutions? What was your saving culture? What was your dream about investing? What was your big project about personal development? What was that training you wanted to go? List them down. Now ask yourself, how many of them have you started? To wrap up on this, I want us to do the importance of starting. Why does it help to make the first step in life? The first step means you have declared a decision. You have said, out of all these ideas I have, this is what I want. In physics, I think physics form 3, they say that a body will stay at its position not unless acted upon by any other external force. So, the moment you have acted upon an idea, it means you have told your mind, this is what I want. You have declared war that this is what I want. So this one will give you the platform for the energies, for the synergy of resources to come to focus on this particular idea. Number 2, starting gives you traction. When you start, you have now the foundation to build on as you grow. So starting is part of inspiration, because today you will look at what you did yesterday. That will form the basis of developing small bit by small bit. Number 3, starting is a satisfaction. Let me tell you, the biggest inspiration is seeing the product in real life. Seeing this particular book, this is bringing out the best out of yourself in high school. That it is really raw. It is a manuscript. You can read, you can aspire. Seeing a prototype, if you are doing engineering work, seeing that you're progressing into one-man team, you are doing a training, it inspires you into more action. That is why I encourage every one of us to sit down and make a candid decision that this is a clarion call to me. Make the first start. Make the action. And for you to do this, you have to kill on the 3 things. That is procrastination, fear, and perfectionism. Procrastination will tell you, I'll start tomorrow. Many of us have wanted to start tomorrow. And that is why we have the best ideas in graves. I don't want you to go to do this. I want you to start so that you can see whatever you are doing when you are still alive. So thank you so much. It has been Troy Teach Patrick Yegon. Subscribe to our channel. Feel free to interact. Feel free to share what you want us to discuss. But know that in this channel you are given information on engineering. We're talking about inspiration, educational and corporate training, and business factors. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.